J Bob, the video game slob, coming back at you with today's pickup. Headed over to an estate sale that I knew was going on, and so I saw this guy and I knew I had to have it. This is going into the personal collection. This older, original Pokemon stuff, the old Nintendo toys, Zelda toys, all that kind of stuff. They're not super valuable, but they're a lot of fun to collect, and I think the only room for them to go is up, because for $23 with taxes and whatever their markup is all in, that's pretty good. You gotta love, he's sculpted really nice. It's got the Pokeball there. It's got another one on top. You gotta love Diglett hiding out here. His little foot on the bottom, and if you on the back, he's even got the little sculpted or engraved little guy there. So very cool, very happy to have that in excellent shape for $23. Now retail on that's maybe 40. I'm not making out like a bandit on this or anything like that. But just something cool to pick up and keep for the personal collection, show you what I'm picking up. And so if that's what I'm picking up, what am I selling or how are things going? As you guys may or may not know, I set up in an antique mall. And so they handle selling things. I stock my booth, I lock it up. They have people that come by and unlock it as customers want, and they have cashiers who check folks out. So whatever I charge at a ticket price, they take a 10% commission on. I don't do discounts for folks. That's just the way I run things. And then of course they take out the credit card fees unless the person pays cash. Otherwise I got to pay for the credit card fees. So the final price is what I got paid in that column there. But let's take a look. What's selling in October? October does tend to be a better month for me here. It's cold, colder in this part of the country. People aren't playing out in the fun in the sun and going to concerts and eating in outdoor cafes anymore. And so they're looking for reasons to spend inside. And so over the next, quarter four here, October, November, and December, sales will probably pick up 10 to 30% higher than they would in the summer months. So yeah, what are people buying? Resident Evils, in really great games at $7 and $8. Where else can you really sell those? You can't put them on eBay. That would be very unreasonable to go out and meet somebody off Craigslist to sell $7 and $8 games. Wouldn't be worth your gas and your time. So that's why I like to put stuff like there. People want them. They're popular series. And it's just, you can get a couple bucks for them and things go well. And then you see under there, Starbucks mug and Otagiri mug, items that I find at garage sales for 50 cents or a buck that I can put up on top of my showcase, that women or girlfriends or whoever else, when people are buying my stuff, can pick out or find something they might want, and I can make a couple extra bucks on. That's what you're seeing there. But I would say a surprisingly large percentage of the people who buy my video games are women. I would say it's probably 40-60 women to men. So it's not just all women buying those things or all men coming in and buying those things. But you're going to have your Pokemons. I don't tend to put things that are, generally too expensive in there, but that would be one of the higher dollar ones. It gets busy, and so it can get hard at times to do tracking there. PS3 game, the cashier's probably tied up, doesn't have time. That's what you're going to see. The Switch with dock should have been $190. They messed up. So you got to pay attention. Just because you're in an antique mall doesn't mean there's not going to be mistakes. If you're thinking it's the, panacea for eBay, so you don't get screwed, you got to watch out. And so you'll see lower where I think they credited me back. It was their mistake. So they gave me the $100. And the game below it, Marion game. Again, these people aren't perfect, and so they're not checking their typing. So I think that was, probably Mario Sunshine on the GameCube for $40 there. Smash Bros. Always great to have things like Simpsons and San Andreas. Those are always selling. But again, those harder to sell things that would be in person, your NASCARs, your Lord of the Rings Two Towers. How can you sell 2,600 games any other way, but people can sift through a stack of them, pick out what they want, and that's what kind of helps. There you can see the correction. Again, things that I always think are going to be home runs never are. Charizard amiibo there selling for $14. I still think I have 5 or 6 amiibos sitting there, including like a Pikachu one, and I think they're all cheaper than even the Charizard, but just not popular with that crowd. I know that amiibos are for a friend of mine who owns a video game store, but just not something that sells well for me. But then other things I think will never sell, like last week I put in that Star Shot. It sold in like 2 or 3 days. Very rare Nintendo 64 game. And somebody just really wanted it. And then you'll get people in that just like clear you out. Somebody apparently wanted all the Guitar Heroes and they picked up some of the more expensive ones. So they must have found a controller. Those things are $75 anymore. So if you find the controller, I guess go out and buy all the games. So there you go. We'll leave you on a Shaq Fu. And we'll head out. We'll come back with another video here soon. But we're 10 days through the month. We got $1,000 in sales. We'll keep you up to date. Let's see if we can get to 3,000 in October. Pikachu out.